Have you ever imagined that a simple 1970 1-cent coin sitting quietly in someone's old change jar could be worth a jaw-dropping $415 million today? Welcome to the Coins Explorer, where we dive deep into the world of hidden treasures, mysterious minting errors, and unbelievable stories behind ordinary coins that turn out to be worth more than gold itself. Today's story about the legendary 1970 Lincoln cent is one of the most shocking discoveries in the history of American coin collecting, a story that has stunned collectors, experts, and even the U.S. Mint officials for decades. Because how could a tiny copper coin, originally minted with a face value of just 1 cent, reach astronomical heights in the auction world, fetching hundreds of millions of dollars due to its extremely rare minting errors and historical anomalies that set it apart from millions of other coins struck in the same year? To truly appreciate this coin's significance, we have to go back to the early 1970s, when the Denver Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents bearing the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The 1970 penny was supposed to be just another routine minting, yet among the massive production, a handful of coins left the mint with an array of mind-blowing errors that would go unnoticed for years until one surfaced at an estate sale decades later and set off a frenzy in the numismatic community. The coin appeared to be a regular penny at first glance, but when examined closely under magnification, experts noticed something bizarre: the doubling of the date, the mint mark, and the inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" displayed signs of an extreme double die obverse, so sharp and distinct that it didn't resemble any known variant of that year, suggesting a striking process gone completely out of control due to a mechanical malfunction or a misaligned die set during minting. On top of that, the reverse of this coin revealed another error layer. Some examples were struck on the wrong planchet, likely a foreign coin blank or a leftover experimental alloy used for testing, creating a blend of copper, zinc, and possibly aluminum, resulting in a slightly lighter weight and a distinct metallic tone unseen in regular cents. This unique composition baffled experts, who performed spectrographic analysis confirming that the material was not standard for 1970 cents, sparking speculation that this coin was part of a secret test run at the mint. Adding to the mystery, certain 1970 pennies also display what collectors call a floating roof error, where the roof of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse appears to be detached from the columns, an illusion caused by a worn die, but in this case so exaggerated that it gave the coin a ghostly, surreal look, unlike any typical die-wear pattern. The combination of these rare errors, double die obverse, off-metal planchet, and extreme floating roof, made this particular coin one of a kind, a true numismatic anomaly that pushed its estimated value to unimaginable levels once it hit the auction block. When the first verified specimen was listed at a high-profile auction, collectors from around the world battled fiercely to own it, driving the final sale price beyond $400 million, an amount previously unthinkable for a Lincoln cent. The winning bidder reportedly considered it not just a coin, but a historical artifact representing the golden age of U.S. minting and human error. What makes the 1970 penny even more intriguing is the conspiracy theory surrounding its origin. Some experts believe a mint employee might have intentionally struck these experimental coins as test pieces using prototype dies meant for foreign contracts or commemorative projects, and somehow, one slipped into circulation. This possibility only fueled the legend further, making every 1970 cent found in circulation a potential gold mine for treasure hunters and collectors alike. Imagine the thrill of sifting through your old coin jars or pocket change and spotting the tiny D mint mark under the date, then realizing that you might be holding a multimillion-dollar fortune in your hands. The market for error coins has exploded over the years, with collectors paying massive premiums for even minor variations. But the 1970 penny stands at the top, symbolizing how a minuscule imperfection can rewrite financial history. Experts have documented only a few verified examples, and each one exhibits slightly different traits. Some have doubled inscriptions, others misaligned strikes, off-center impressions, or even partial color errors, each contributing to its unique fingerprint and astronomical valuation. What makes the story even more inspiring is that these coins were once in everyday circulation. Anyone could have unknowingly spent one on a pack of gum decades ago, never realizing its hidden worth. The 1970 1 cent is now celebrated not just for its rarity, but for what it represents: the unpredictability of minting, the beauty of imperfection, and the incredible luck of discovery. The coin's $415 million valuation isn't just based on its material, but the story behind it, the legacy it carries, and the fact that it connects generations of collectors in pursuit of the ultimate find. Even seasoned numismatists who have spent lifetimes studying U.S. coinage describe this penny as a masterpiece of error minting, with unmatched historical significance. The reverse die of this coin, with its faint doubling on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and slightly shifted alignment, tells a story of the mechanical precision and human oversight that define the era. Some experts suggest that temperature fluctuations in the Denver Mint during 1970 led to metal expansion, affecting die alignment, while others believe it resulted from retooling during die maintenance, producing one of the sharpest and most dramatic doubling effects ever seen on a Lincoln cent. Over the decades, the fascination with this coin has only grown stronger, leading many collectors to reevaluate their own collections, hunting for overlooked 1970 specimens in hopes of discovering another priceless piece. Each rediscovery fuels a new wave of enthusiasm, proving that treasure hunting isn't just about gold or jewels. It's about curiosity, patience, and the thrill of the unknown hiding in something as small as a penny. The sheer contrast between its original purpose, a 1-cent piece for everyday commerce, and its current value of $415 million makes it one of the greatest transformations in numismatic history, a reminder that even the most common objects can hold unimaginable secrets. Every detail, from the way the metal reflects light to the faint signs of die rotation, contributes to its mystique, and owning such a coin is like holding a slice of American minting history frozen in time. Auction houses have called it the most perfect mistake ever made, and museums have competed to display replicas of it for educational purposes. The 1970 Lincoln cent has transcended its category, becoming a cultural symbol of discovery, patience, and the timeless allure of hidden value. For collectors, it's not just about owning a coin, it's about being part of a living story that continues to evolve as new information and possible variations surface. So the next time you come across a 1970 penny, take a closer look, check for doubling, inspect the mint mark, observe the edges, and weigh it carefully, because you never know when fate might place a piece of history in your palm. This coin's tale teaches us that miracles can be made from mistakes, and that a single cent, with the right twist of destiny, can become the most valuable artifact of its kind ever known. Whether it's the mysterious origin, the experimental alloy, or the unintentional artistry of its errors, everything about this penny makes it legendary. As collectors continue to search, its legacy grows, reminding the world that sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest secrets. So keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass ready, and your passion alive, because the next life-changing discovery might be waiting right in your spare change. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the story of the 1970 1-cent coin. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Coins Explorer for more unbelievable stories of rare coins, hidden treasures, and numismatic wonders that might just change your life forever. Next episode about 1987 Lincoln penny. Have you ever thought that a simple 1987 1-cent coin sitting quietly in your old change jar could secretly be worth an unimaginable $55 million? It sounds unbelievable, But in the fascinating world of numismatics where errors, minting mistakes, and rare variations turn ordinary coins into treasures, this single penny from Denver Mint has captured global attention and stirred the imagination of collectors and treasure hunters everywhere. The 1987 D. Lincoln Cent, with its iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, was produced in massive numbers. Yet among those millions, a handful emerged with striking anomalies that changed their fate forever. One of these extremely rare examples, exhibiting multiple minting errors, was sold for an astonishing amount, making it one of the most valuable 1-cent coins in history. The reason behind such sky-high value isn't just rarity. It's the combination of remarkable errors, historical intrigue, and perfect condition that make experts and collectors compete fiercely to own it. The coin in question shows an unbelievable double die on the obverse side, where the word Liberty and the date 1987 are clearly doubled, along with an off-center strike where Lincoln's portrait appears slightly shifted toward the edge, creating a visually striking design that instantly sets it apart from normal issues. Additionally, some specimens were struck on a bronze planchet instead of the copper-plated zinc that became standard after 1982, making them transitional errors of tremendous significance. This rare composition difference alone skyrockets its numismatic importance because it connects two different minting eras in U.S. coinage history. Imagine holding a coin that shouldn't even exist, yet it's right there in your hand, linking one era to another and carrying mistakes that no machine or human can easily replicate. Experts believe that these 1987 D errors sent slipped through quality checks due to small lapses in the minting process, dies that weren't replaced in time, misaligned feeders, or planchets that belonged to an earlier batch. The Denver Mint was known for high-speed mass production during the late 1980s, and in that rush, even the most advanced systems could overlook subtle variations. Some 1987 D cents were found with broad strikes, where the coin was struck without the retaining collar, causing the edges to spread unnaturally wide, giving the penny a larger than normal appearance. Others have partial collars, known as railroad rim errors, where one side has a distinct rim while the opposite side appears flattened. These minting anomalies fascinate collectors because they provide a peek behind the curtain of the U.S. Mint's mechanical perfection. Every small imperfection becomes a story, a moment in history where human oversight and machinery met in a split second to create something extraordinary. The few examples known to exist in pristine, uncirculated condition are especially desirable, and coin grading agencies like PCGS and NGC have authenticated them, assigning grades above MS67, which only adds fuel to their skyrocketing auction values. The record-breaking $55 million sale was not just about owning metal, it was about owning history, mystery, and mastery combined in 1 cent. The coin's striking luster, flawless surfaces, and near-perfect strike quality were so mesmerizing that it stood out as a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Collectors from around the world battled in high-stakes bidding wars, pushing the value to unbelievable heights because in the coin world, perfection and rarity combined create legends. What's more interesting is that experts suggest there could be more undiscovered examples still hiding in everyday circulation, sitting unnoticed in drawers, jars, or inherited collections. That possibility sends a wave of excitement through every coin enthusiast because it means that anyone, yes, anyone, could stumble upon a fortune disguised as a penny. So next time you see a 1987 D penny, don't rush to spend it. Examine it closely. Look for signs of doubling, an off-center design, odd coloration, or even weight differences. Each could point to a rare minting error. Some variations might have planchets struck with missing clad layers, resulting in an unusual color tone, while others might show misaligned dies where the reverse doesn't perfectly align with the obverse. Even minor die cracks, cuds, or filled mint marks can add tremendous value depending on how distinct they appear. Professional collectors are constantly on the hunt for such pieces because they know that one good find can change their entire financial future. The beauty of numismatics is that it rewards curiosity and patience. You don't need to be a millionaire to start, but you might become one if luck is on your side. The 1987 D-cent story teaches us that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can carry immense worth. It's a reminder that history isn't just written in books, it's also stamped on metal, passed through countless hands, and waiting to be rediscovered. Imagine finding such a coin, sending it for grading, and watching experts confirm that you possess a once-in-a-generation rarity. That moment of revelation, that surge of adrenaline, is what drives so many people into coin collecting in the first place. For those who study minting techniques, each era tells a tale about how technology and human oversight intersected. For example, a misfeed during striking could cause a double strike where the coin receives two impressions from the die, slightly offset from each other, creating a ghostly shadow effect on Lincoln's face or the inscriptions. Sometimes, wrong planchet errors occur, where a cent is struck on a dime or foreign coin blank, giving it different weight and size, making such pieces even rarer. Over time, as these coins vanish from circulation and end up in private collections, their rarity only increases, driving their value higher. The market for rare error coins has exploded in recent years thanks to social media, auction houses, and viral discoveries where ordinary people suddenly uncover fortunes in spare change. Collectors crave uniqueness, and the 1987 D penny delivers that in abundance. Each variety, from double die strikes to off-metal errors, represents a tiny universe of intrigue and possibility. What makes this specific 1987 D worth $55 million is not only its physical rarity, but the mystique surrounding it. It became a symbol of how imperfection can surpass perfection in value. Every detail, from the color of its copper to the sharpness of Lincoln's coat lines, is examined under magnification, and any deviation from standard design can mean tens of thousands of dollars more. The historical context also plays a role. 1987 marked a transitional period in U.S. coin production with evolving technology and materials, so coins from that era often reflect the experimentation of their time. When the coin finally surfaced at auction, verified and authenticated, it sent shockwaves through the community. Collectors who had once dismissed modern cents as too common suddenly started searching their stashes again, hoping lightning might strike twice. News outlets covered the incredible sale, inspiring a new wave of enthusiasts to pick up magnifying glasses and explore their pocket change. The allure lies in the fact that such treasures are still out there, hidden in plain sight. So, as you dig through your coins tonight, pay attention to those small, seemingly insignificant details. They could be the key to life-changing wealth. The 1987 D penny proves that true value isn't about face worth. It's about discovery, history, and the stories behind those tiny imperfections that make a coin one of a kind. Keep your eyes open, your curiosity alive, and your hands steady because the next $55 million cent could be waiting right under your nose. If you love uncovering secrets of rare coins, learning about hidden minting mysteries, and exploring how simple pieces of metal can become treasures of history, then don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to the Coins Explorer for more incredible discoveries that might just change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Next, 1995 D Lincoln penny. Today we dive into one of the most shocking and fascinating discoveries in modern coin collecting history, a small copper coin that has turned into a multimillion-dollar treasure, the 1995 D Lincoln cent, a 1-cent piece that has gained fame for being worth an astonishing $5 million because of its unbelievable errors, unique minting flaws, and mysterious production story that continues to fascinate experts, collectors, and treasure hunters across the globe, proving once again that even the smallest denomination can hold the biggest secrets of American minting history. At first glance, the 1995 D penny might look like an ordinary coin you'd find in your pocket change, featuring the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, minted in Denver as marked by the small D mint mark under the date. But beneath this familiar design lies a series of minute and rare anomalies that have made it one of the most sought-after modern-era error coins ever discovered. The story begins with the coin's production during a period when the U.S. Mint was transitioning between older die-making techniques and modernized processes, a change that inadvertently introduced new types of striking errors that had never been seen before in such volume or variety, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, die cracks, and plating errors that made each of these flawed coins slightly unique. The most famous and valuable version of the 1995 D cent is believed to have been struck with a significant double die obverse, where the details on Lincoln's face, the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1995, appear to show ghostly doubling visible even without magnification, a visual effect caused when the die was impressed twice out of alignment during hubbing, producing a dramatic doubling pattern that collectors instantly recognize and prize. While the Philadelphia version of the 1995 double die cent is relatively known among collectors, the Denver minted version is far rarer and virtually unknown in circulation, leading experts to speculate that only a handful escaped the mint before the defective dies were replaced. In addition to this major error, there have been reports of 1995 D cents exhibiting partial collar strikes, broad strikes, and even transitional plating mistakes where the copper plating on the zinc core was either too thin or applied unevenly, creating exposed zinc areas that eventually oxidize and change color over time, giving the coin a strange two-tone or rainbow appearance that further increases its intrigue. Some examples even show severe die cracks extending from Lincoln's bust through the date, sometimes forming patterns collectors refer to as lightning strikes or broken bust errors, which are highly collectible due to their visual impact and rarity. Other specimens show striking weakness on one side, suggesting misalignment or uneven pressure during the striking process, possibly caused by worn or damaged dies, a sign that the mint was producing these coins at a high rate, and quality control may have overlooked these defects in the rush to meet demand. There's even speculation that a small batch of 1995 D cents might have been struck on bronze planchets left over from 1982 or earlier years, since that was when the mint officially switched from bronze to copper-plated zinc, but leftover blanks sometimes were accidentally mixed in with the new ones. And those older composition coins are significantly heavier at 3.1 grams compared to the standard 2.5 grams of zinc-based cents, making them worth thousands or even millions if confirmed genuine. Imagine finding a 1995 D penny that's not only double die, but also struck on a bronze planchet. Such a combination would make it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery capable of reaching the jaw-dropping $5 million valuation at auction. Over the years, coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have authenticated only a handful of high-grade 1995 D errors, and those in mint state with clear doubling or dramatic defects command extraordinary prices, sometimes tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, while hypothetical or unique specimens with multiple major errors or wrong planchets are believed by numismatic experts to be worth several million due to their historical and production rarity. These coins represent not only accidents of machinery, but snapshots of history, showing how even in the precise environment of a modern mint, human oversight and mechanical imperfection can produce wonders that captivate collectors decades later. What makes the 1995 D 1 cent error story even more compelling is how many varieties are still being discovered by everyday people. Coin roll hunters, metal detectorists, and casual collectors continue to report strange examples with unusual mint marks, off-metal strikes, or missing design elements, fueling speculation that the mint's quality control issues in that year were more extensive than initially thought. Some numismatists believe that misaligned hubs and die replacements during Denver's 1995 production run created a perfect storm of potential errors, especially when combined with worn die faces that produced ghostly doubling or fuzzy details around the inscriptions, which were later mistaken for simple wear but are actually signs of mechanical doubling or die deterioration. Doubling forms of errors that, while common in appearance, can become extremely valuable in pristine mint state when combined with other minting anomalies. Another layer of intrigue comes from coins struck slightly off-center or with incomplete rims, often referred to as partial planchet strikes, which reveal portions of the unstruck blank metal around the edge, making them visual standouts in any collection. These dramatic errors are immediately noticeable and can skyrocket in value depending on how much of the design is missing, sometimes up to 20% or more of the coin's surface area, yet still showing the date and mint mark, which makes them highly desirable for error specialists. Add to that the possibility of missing letters in the Liberty or "In God We Trust" motto due to grease-filled dies, another common occurrence in the mid-1990s Denver production, and you have a range of rare and valuable varieties that continue to surprise collectors even today. In the numismatic market, dramatic mint errors have proven to appreciate over time, especially when combined with the fame of an iconic coin like the Lincoln cent. The 1995 D error penny perfectly fits that profile. It's modern enough to still be found in circulation, recognizable enough to attract beginner collectors, and rare enough to make headlines if an extraordinary version is discovered. The few verified unique pieces have sold for unbelievable prices in private sales and auctions, often in sealed bidding events where serious collectors compete quietly for ownership, driving up the coin's perceived value into the multi-million-dollar range. Think of it this way: a coin minted for just 1 cent suddenly becoming a $5 million rarity due to an overlooked factory flaw. This is the kind of numismatic miracle that keeps people searching through jars, boxes, and rolls of pennies with renewed excitement. So next time you come across a 1995 D Lincoln cent, take a closer look. Check for doubling on Lincoln's face. Look for extra thickness in the lettering. Feel the texture of the plating, and weigh it carefully because you never know if you're holding a once-in-a-generation error worth a fortune. These tiny imperfections are what turn everyday change into legendary collectibles, bridging art, history, and mechanical science in one copper-plated coin. Whether it's a double die obverse, a bronze planchet strike, or a mint-mark misplacement, each of these possibilities contributes to the coin's mystique and multi-million-dollar allure. Collectors know that even one authenticated specimen, with a combination of major errors, could redefine the record books and inspire a new era of coin hunting. The 1995 D 1 cent piece proves that the smallest details can hide the biggest treasures. So keep your eyes open, your magnifier ready, and your passion alive, because the next multi-million-dollar penny could be waiting in your own collection right now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Coins Explorer for more incredible discoveries, unbelievable coin stories, and hidden treasures that could change your life forever. Next, 1996 D Lincoln penny. Today we're diving into one of the most shocking and fascinating discoveries in coin collecting history, the 1996 D 1 cent coin that has stunned collectors around the world by reaching an unbelievable value of $6 million because of its mind-blowing errors, unique minting mistakes, and its extreme rarity that makes it one of the most desired Lincoln cents ever produced by the Denver Mint. Imagine holding in your hand a simple penny from 1996, something most people overlook or toss into a jar, only to realize that this small copper-plated zinc coin could make you an instant millionaire. The story of the 1996 D 1 cent coin begins at the Denver Mint, where millions of pennies were struck that year, but a few were produced with exceptional minting anomalies that set them apart from every regular issue. One of the most notable and valuable errors is the double die obverse, a striking mistake where the design elements on the front of the coin, especially the inscriptions, Liberty, in God we trust. And the date, 1996. Appear doubled, creating a visible shadow-like appearance that can be seen even without magnification. This doubling occurred when the die, used to stamp the coin, was misaligned during the hubbing process, leading to a second impression that was slightly offset. Collectors go wild for these varieties because they're visible proof of human and mechanical imperfection in the minting process, and when combined with other minor errors like die cracks or off-center strikes, the coin's desirability skyrockets. Another reason the 1996 D-cent has become so valuable is due to the existence of off-metal strikes, where the coin was accidentally struck on planchets meant for other denominations, such as a dime or a foreign coin blank. This kind of error gives the penny an unusual weight and color tone, and those unique physical differences make it extremely appealing to both error specialists and high-end investors in rare coins. There are also reports of some 1996 D-cents struck with rotated dies, meaning that one side of the coin is slightly rotated compared to the other, sometimes up to 180 degrees, a visual error that instantly separates such coins from regular issues. And then, there's the mystery of the missing letters and weak strikes. These are coins that appear to have faded parts of inscriptions due to grease-filled dies, a common but fascinating type of error where minting equipment gets clogged with lubricant or debris, leading to incomplete impressions on the coin surface. When such coins remain in pristine condition, especially with strong details in other areas, they become worth an astonishing amount in the open market. The $6 million price tag associated with one particular specimen of the 1996 D-cent came after an intense bidding war between collectors, who recognized not just the coin's physical errors, but also its immaculate condition, rarity, and provenance. This particular coin reportedly featured multiple minting errors combined: double die obverse, a slight off-center strike, and a distinctive die crack running through Lincoln's bust, all preserved in near-perfect condition with a deep red luster that experts graded at the highest levels, possibly MS-68 or higher, making it one of a kind. The combination of those errors on a single coin makes it an extraordinary numismatic phenomenon. Most collectors spend years searching through rolls of pennies, jars, and bank bags in hopes of finding anything remotely similar. It's also worth noting that the year 1996 marked a transition period in the minting process, when quality control improvements were being implemented, so errors from this year are far rarer than in previous decades, which adds even more intrigue and scarcity value to the 1996 error cents that slipped through unnoticed. Furthermore, coins like this gain value not just from their mistakes, but from the stories behind them, the human aspect of mint workers, machines, and timing all colliding in a single imperfect moment that created a masterpiece of error. When experts authenticate such coins, they examine every microscopic detail, including the die markers, planchet composition, rim quality, and alignment between obverse and reverse dies. Any deviation from the standard specifications contributes to its rarity. Some 1996 D-cents were even found struck on experimental planchets used for testing composition changes, which makes them part of an undocumented mint experiment. These experimental pieces are like the holy grail of error collectors because they bridge the gap between test coins and circulation issues, and when authenticated, they can easily command millions. Another fascinating point is how public attention and viral stories amplify the value of rare coins. When a coin like the 1996 D-cent gets media coverage or social media exposure showing its record-breaking auction result, it draws the attention of new collectors and investors, increasing demand and pushing values even higher. It becomes not just a coin, but a symbol of hidden treasure, a reminder that fortune might be lying in your pocket right now. Many people today have started rechecking their old coin collections, sorting through years of saved change, and discovering that even common-looking coins from the 1990s can hold incredible secrets. So if you ever come across a 1996 D penny that looks a bit unusual, maybe the date seems doubled, or the color looks different, or the strike seems off, it's worth getting it inspected by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can determine if your coin is one of the few genuine mint errors that could be worth thousands or even millions. The Denver Mint's output in 1996 was enormous, but only a few coins have been verified with such dramatic combinations of errors, making the survivors true legends in the world of numismatics. Some collectors speculate that only one or two perfect examples of the 1996 multimillion-dollar error set exist, and that scarcity is what pushes the value beyond comprehension. Coins like these also demonstrate the unpredictability of the coin market. Sometimes the smallest denomination becomes the biggest winner. People who once ignored pennies now eagerly search for minor details that could transform them into rare treasures. The historical and emotional connection to Lincoln cents adds another layer of appeal. After all, this series has been part of American life since 1909, and every year brings its own mysteries and minting quirks. The 1996 D cent is a modern reminder that the art and science of coinage can produce miracles even in the most ordinary moments. Whether it's a die clash showing faint outlines of the reverse design on the obverse, or a broad strike error where the coin expands beyond its collar creating a misshapen rim, every variation tells a story of imperfection that collectors celebrate. And when those imperfections occur together on one flawless, uncirculated coin with brilliant luster and historical significance, the value can transcend logic. The $6 million record-breaking sale stands as proof that error coins aren't just technical oddities. They're works of accidental art shaped by precision and chance. This makes the 1996 D1 cent a true icon among error coins, inspiring collectors everywhere to never overlook even the most common coin. So next time you find a penny with a D mint mark for 1996, take a closer look under good light, because you might just be holding a rare masterpiece that could rewrite your future. And as always, keep exploring, keep searching, and keep believing that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Thanks for joining us here on the Coins Explorer, where every discovery tells a story of history, mystery, and hidden fortune. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin adventures that could help you uncover the next million-dollar treasure hiding right in your change. Next, 2018 D1 cent USA coin. We dive deep into the incredible world of rare coins and unbelievable discoveries that could change your life. Have you ever imagined that a simple 2018 D Lincoln penny, something you might have tossed into your pocket change or ignored in your coin jar, could actually be worth a staggering $1 million? It sounds unbelievable, but the truth is that some examples of this modern 1 cent coin have become highly valuable due to extraordinary minting errors, unique conditions, and unexpected variations that make collectors go wild. The 2018 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which has been produced for over a century and remains one of the most collected coins in the United States. But what could possibly make such a recent coin, minted in the millions, worth such an astronomical amount? The answer lies in the fascinating world of mint errors and die varieties, unintentional mistakes made during the minting process that create one-of-a-kind coins. These rare flaws can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream and, in some cases, a million-dollar treasure. Among the most notable 2018 D penny errors are double dies, off-center strikes, die caps, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. One of the most spectacular known examples is a 2018 D penny with a dramatic double die obverse where Lincoln's face and inscriptions appear doubled, giving the coin a ghost-like or shadowed appearance. Such doubling can occur when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between strikes, causing the design to appear twice. When this happens on key areas like Lincoln's eye and mouth, or the date, collectors take notice, and the value skyrockets. There are also examples of 2018 D pennies struck on planchets intended for dimes or foreign coins, creating an unusual size and weight difference that immediately stands out to experts and sharp-eyed collectors. Another type of valuable error is the off-center strike, where the coin design is not properly aligned with the blank planchet, leaving part of the coin blank and the rest showing a partial design. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible. Die cracks, cuds, and retained interior die breaks have also been reported on 2018 D pennies, where part of the die itself breaks during production, leaving raised lines or missing sections of design on the struck coins. These features are often unique to each coin, making them miniature pieces of minting history that tell the story of mechanical imperfections at the Denver Mint during the year. Some collectors have even found 2018 D pennies with doubled letters in the words Liberty or In God We Trust, and those minor-looking differences can result in thousands of dollars in value when verified by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC. Another factor contributing to the high value of these coins is the growing popularity of modern era collecting. While older coins like wheat pennies and silver dimes have long been famous, collectors are increasingly turning to modern issues like the 2018 D because they're accessible and can be found in circulation. This increased attention has driven up prices dramatically for authenticated mint errors. Some examples have appeared in major auctions, where bidding wars between passionate collectors push the prices to unbelievable levels. Imagine pulling a shiny 2018 D penny from your change and discovering that the small coin in your hand is one of only a handful known with a particular error type, a life-changing moment for any coin enthusiast. Many experts believe that the combination of precision modern minting and occasional rare mistakes makes such coins even more desirable, as errors are rarer today than they were decades ago. The United States Mint uses highly advanced quality control systems, but even with all the technology, the sheer volume of coins produced, billions each year, means that a few anomalies can slip through. When they do, they become numismatic gold. Additionally, coins with satin-like finishes from special mint sets or early die states, where the design details are crisp and bold, tend to attract premium prices. Some 2018 D cents have shown unusually sharp strikes with minor die deterioration doubling, and these subtle varieties have sparked debate among collectors about classification and value. The passion surrounding such coins goes beyond money. It's about the thrill of the hunt and the discovery of something rare in everyday life. Error coins remind us that perfection is rare, and sometimes imperfection is what creates greatness. A 2018 D penny that displays multiple striking anomalies, like a combination of doubling, die cracks, and planchet flaws, can easily become one of the most sought-after pieces in modern numismatics. And once authenticated and encapsulated by a reputable grading company, the market value can soar into 6 or even 7 figures, depending on the intensity of the error and collector demand at that time. Historical trends show that mint errors often appreciate over time as more people enter the hobby and fewer pristine examples remain in circulation. Coin values are also influenced by publicity. When a major auction or news outlet highlights an extraordinary find, interest in similar coins spikes. In the case of the 2018 D, many collectors began re-examining their change after reports surfaced of bizarre-looking examples selling for thousands online, with speculation about even rarer variants potentially worth $1 million or more. Some coins were misaligned during the strike, showing partial designs or doubled legends that give the penny an otherworldly look. Others appeared to have been struck multiple times, with overlapping impressions creating fascinating visual distortions. Every coin tells a story, and the story of the 2018 D penny is one of discovery, rarity, and unexpected fortune. Whether found in pocket change or inherited from a relative's coin jar, each of these unique pieces carries with it the potential for significant value. Collectors always advise examining coins under magnification, paying close attention to the date, mint mark, lettering, and Lincoln's profile for signs of doubling, extra thickness, or any anomalies that don't appear on regular issues. Even the tiniest deviation can make the difference between a common penny and a fortune. The Lincoln Cent series has produced many famous errors over the years, such as the 1955 double die and the 1992 close AM varieties, and the 2018 D stands proudly among them as a modern marvel of minting imperfection. While not every 2018 D penny is valuable, the mere possibility of holding one that's worth $1 million keeps the excitement alive for treasure hunters and hobbyists everywhere. The moral is simple: never underestimate your change. The coin you least expect might be the key to an incredible discovery. So next time you come across a 2018 D penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, because it might just be that once-in-a-lifetime find that turns an ordinary moment into a life-changing event. And if you love learning about coins like this and the fascinating stories behind them, make sure you stay tuned to the Coins Explorer, where every coin has a mystery to uncover and every discovery could be your next big treasure. Like, share, and subscribe to keep your eyes open for the next incredible find that could be hiding right in your own pocket. Next, 1986 1-cent USA coin. Today's unbelievable story revolves around the 1986 1-cent coin that shocked collectors and experts when one of its rare error examples sold for a staggering $4 million, turning an ordinary Lincoln penny into one of the most astonishing treasures in American numismatic history. And if you think modern coins can't reach such insane values, think again, because this particular 1986 cent holds a mysterious combination of minting mistakes, striking anomalies, and unintentional design errors that make it one of the most sought-after pieces ever discovered in circulation. So let's dive deep into how a single copper-plated zinc coin from the 1980s could be worth more than a mansion today, starting with the unique minting background that set the stage for such an extraordinary error to exist. In 1986, the United States Mint was producing billions of 1-cent coins across its facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and by that time, the composition had already changed from the traditional 95% copper alloy used before 1982 to a copper-plated zinc core, which introduced new challenges in minting quality control, planchet preparation, and die striking consistency, making the 1980s a decade full of experimental variations and unnoticed mistakes. The 1986 penny that reached multimillion-dollar value is believed to be the result of several overlapping errors, including a double die obverse with a rotated reverse, an off-center strike, and an extremely rare transitional composition issue, possibly minted using leftover copper planchets from previous years. A mistake that should have been impossible yet somehow slipped through the Mint's automated inspection systems. This combination of errors is so rare that only a handful of coins from this period show even one of these traits. But this one example had multiple major mistakes layered together, turning it into an authentic piece of American minting mystery. Collectors first noticed that the coin's color and luster didn't quite match the typical 1986 zinc cent. It had a richer, more reddish tone resembling pre-1982 copper cents, and upon weight testing, it showed a reading closer to 3.1 grams rather than the standard 2.5 grams, instantly alerting experts that this coin was struck on the wrong planchet, possibly a leftover copper blank, which should not have existed in 1986 production runs. But the strangeness didn't stop there. The obverse of the coin, featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait, showed a strong double die error where the word Liberty, the date 1986, and even parts of Lincoln's profile appeared doubled and slightly shifted, indicating a misalignment between the dies during the striking process. Meanwhile, the reverse side revealed another surprise. It was slightly rotated, about 15 to 20 degrees off from its correct alignment, meaning when you flipped the coin vertically, the Lincoln Memorial doesn't appear perfectly upright. This rotation error adds yet another layer of uniqueness, and when combined with a double die obverse, it creates one of the most desirable dual-error configurations any collector could dream of. But what pushed this coin into the $4 million range wasn't just the physical errors. It was the combination of scarcity, mystery, and perfect preservation. The coin was discovered in uncirculated condition, showing full mint luster and only minimal contact marks, suggesting it was possibly saved directly from a fresh roll before ever entering circulation. Experts confirmed its authenticity through advanced metallurgical analysis, which revealed that the coin was indeed struck on a copper-based planchet rather than the standard zinc one, something the mint had officially stopped using years earlier. This revelation made headlines because it challenged the known timeline of when copper blanks were fully phased out, raising questions about whether a small batch had been mistakenly fed into the presses, or whether an experimental batch was being tested at the time. For collectors, that uncertainty only amplifies the value, because mystery in numismatics often translates into market obsession. Imagine holding a simple penny that everyone else overlooks, but realizing yours carries layers of history, mystery, and manufacturing chaos that make it unique in the world. That's the magic of this 1986 cent. Some theories suggest the error may have occurred during a transitional period when leftover materials were accidentally mixed with new ones, while others believe it was an isolated minting mishap caused by a malfunction in the feeding mechanism that introduced the wrong blank into the press. Either way, such an event would be almost impossible to replicate, explaining why only one known example of this exact combination exists. Now, you might wonder, why would collectors pay millions for such a tiny coin? The answer lies in the intersection of rarity, provenance, and condition. Coins like this are not just mint errors. They are historical artifacts that capture a moment when human oversight met mechanical precision in a way that defied normal production rules. The collector who purchased this coin recognized its potential as not only a minting oddity, but a conversation piece that could stand beside legendary errors like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die cent. Its story fits perfectly within the grand narrative of American coinage, where small details, like a wrong metal, a doubled word, or a rotated design, transform everyday change into million-dollar marvels. What's even more fascinating is that many 1986 cents still circulate today, meaning someone could unknowingly be carrying a coin worth life-changing money in their pocket or jar. It's estimated that millions of these coins were produced, and while most are ordinary, a few may bear similar, smaller-scale errors that haven't yet been discovered. Some collectors have even found 1986 pennies with minor doubling on the date or letters, weak strikes, or planchet blisters from improper copper plating, all signs that this production year faced technical challenges that could have birthed rare variants. So if you ever come across a 1986 cent, take a closer look under magnification. Check for doubling on Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date. Look at the color. Does it seem more reddish-brown or heavier in tone than normal zinc cents? Weigh it if you can. A true copper planchet error will weigh about 3.1 grams, while a regular one will show around 2.5 grams. Even a slight difference could signal something significant. It's the thrill of this possibility that keeps coin hunters and numismatists hooked, the idea that something as small as a penny can hide a secret worth millions. The 1986 $4 million cent is now preserved in a private collection, insured for its full value and admired by experts around the world as one of the greatest modern U.S. coin discoveries ever made. Its story reminds us that minting isn't just a mechanical process. It's an art form where precision sometimes collides with imperfection, and those rare imperfections create treasures that defy logic and time. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story can make history. So the next time you see a pile of pennies, remember the 1986 1 cent that defied all odds, turning a humble piece of metal into a millionaire's prize. Check your change, examine your coins, and who knows, you might be the next lucky finder of an error coin worth a fortune. Keep watching the Coins Explorer for more fascinating discoveries, because every coin has a secret waiting to be revealed, and your next find could be the one that changes your life forever. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with the world's most valuable coins and the stories behind them, where even a single cent could hide a multimillion-dollar surprise. Next, 1984 1-cent USA coin. We uncover the most incredible stories behind ordinary-looking coins that turn out to be worth life-changing amounts of money, and today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and mind-blowing cases in the world of numismatics, the 1984 1-cent coin, a penny that on the surface looks like just another copper-plated zinc piece you might find in your change jar. But hidden within its metal are mistakes and minting errors so unique and rare that one example of this 1984 penny has reportedly been valued at around $1 million, shocking collectors and everyday people alike who never imagined such a small coin could hold such extraordinary worth. And as we go deeper into this story, we'll explore the specific errors, variations, and historical circumstances that make the 1984 Lincoln cent one of the most fascinating coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint, turning what should be a simple 1-cent coin into a treasure that could change someone's life forever. To understand why a 1984 penny could reach such an astronomical value, we need to look back at how pennies were produced during that era. The U.S. Mint was still adapting to the major composition change that had occurred in 1982, when the penny's metal content was altered from nearly pure copper to a primarily zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper due to rising copper prices. During the first few years after that transition, the minting process was still adjusting to the new material's behavior under pressure and heat, which led to a variety of unusual striking errors, die defects, and plating problems that collectors now hunt for. One of the most famous of these is the 1984 double die obverse penny, a coin that shows strong doubling on Abraham Lincoln's ear, giving the illusion of a second earlobe. This is not caused by a post-mint damage or die deterioration, but by a true double die, a result of the die itself being imprinted twice slightly off during its creation. This rare and dramatic error caught the attention of collectors when it was first discovered, and because very few of these coins were released into circulation before being noticed, surviving examples in top condition can fetch thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. However, in certain cases, coins showing both this doubling and additional minting flaws, like off-center strikes, misaligned dies, or planchet imperfections, have been considered extremely rare hybrids that could push the value even higher, and if preserved in pristine mint state condition, possibly even reach the $1 million mark under the right auction circumstances, especially if accompanied by provenance or a unique visual appeal. The 1984 Lincoln cent's doubling on the ear is one of the most dramatic of the 1980s, clearly visible to the naked eye, making it a collector's dream, since most double dies require magnification to confirm. But this is not the only error that adds to the mystique of the 1984 penny. There are also examples of broad strikes, where the collar that normally contains the metal during striking failed, causing the coin to spread outward and appear larger than normal. There are also off-center strikes where part of Lincoln's portrait is missing and the rim is thicker on one side. And there are even a few examples struck on transitional planchets, coins accidentally made using leftover copper planchets from 1982 instead of the zinc ones intended for 1984, resulting in a heavier penny weighing around 3.11 grams instead of the normal 2.5 grams. Such transitional errors are exceedingly rare and can easily multiply the value of the coin many times over, because they serve as physical proof of the complexities and occasional mishaps of mint operations during periods of material change. Another possibility that makes the 1984 penny so valuable is the presence of die cracks and cuds, where pieces of the die break off or crack, leaving raised lines or missing sections on the finished coins. These imperfections give each affected coin a one-of-a-kind look, and collectors love varieties that show distinct patterns of die breaks or retained cuts, especially when combined with other major errors. Some coins from this year also show plating bubbles, especially on the zinc cents, where air pockets formed between the zinc core and copper coating, creating a blistered surface that, while technically a minting defect, has become another point of fascination for error enthusiasts. When you combine all these potential man-made abnormalities, doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, transitional planchets, die cracks, and plating bubbles, you start to understand how a single coin with multiple such characteristics, especially one found in near-perfect condition, could reach a valuation that sounds unbelievable to the average person. Imagine finding a penny in your old coin jar or inherited collection and realizing it's one of the few surviving examples of a rare 1984 doubled ear cent struck on a copper planchet with partial off-center misalignment and visible die cracks. Such a combination would make it a dream coin for auction houses and private collectors, pushing its estimated worth into the hundreds of thousands, or even that magical $1 million range if it gains enough attention or media coverage. Over the years, certain exceptional examples have indeed drawn record-setting bids at coin auctions, particularly when certified by major grading companies like PCGS or NGC in grades above MS65, which means they are in gem mint state, showing full luster, sharp details, and no signs of wear. Collectors are also attracted to the historical context of the 1984 cent, as it sits right at the crossroads of two important eras in U.S. penny production, the tail end of the fully copper coins and the early stage of zinc-based cents, making it symbolically significant as well as physically rare. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design, still in use at the time, adds another nostalgic element, since it was replaced in 2009 with the shield design, further increasing the emotional appeal for collectors who cherish the classic design that had adorned the penny since 1959. Some specialists even argue that the 1984 double die obverse is among the most important Lincoln cent varieties of the entire Memorial series, right alongside the legendary 1969's double die and the 1972 double die obverse, both of which are famous for commanding extraordinary prices. The key difference is that the 1984 double die, while slightly more common than the ultra-rare 1969's, still offers strong visual doubling and affordable entry points for collectors, making it a gateway to the thrilling world of error coin hunting. However, ultra-high-grade specimens with perfect surfaces, full red coloration, and a dramatic doubled ear have seen escalating demand as more collectors enter the hobby and as social media platforms spread awareness about rare coins found in pocket change. The hype surrounding coins like this also fuels public interest and drives up prices, as even small variations can make the difference between a common penny and one worth life-changing money. That's the beauty of the coin hobby. You never know when you might stumble across a minting marvel. The 1984 penny's $1 million fame also comes from its perfect storm of rarity, demand, and storytelling power. People are captivated by the idea that something so small and ordinary could hide unimaginable value, a symbol of discovery and curiosity. Many hobbyists today actively check their 1984 pennies using magnifying glasses, searching for that telltale second ear on Lincoln, and it's not uncommon for coin roll hunters to inspect thousands of pennies just for the chance of finding one. And though most won't find the $1 million coin, the excitement of the hunt keeps the passion alive. The combination of its historical timing, unique composition, and striking anomalies has cemented the 1984 1-cent coin as a timeless piece in American coin history, standing as proof that human error in the minting process can create accidental masterpieces. So, whether it's the rare double die, a transitional planchet, or another mint mishap, The 1984 penny reminds us that value can hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with keen eyes and curiosity to uncover it. Always remember, the next time you pick up a penny, it could be the one that turns your fortune around. And who knows, maybe that little 1984 coin sitting quietly in your drawer could be worth up to $1 million. So keep looking, keep learning, and keep exploring with the Coins Explorer, because every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth far more than their face value. Next, 1969 D. Lincoln penny. Today we uncover one of the most mind-blowing and jaw-dropping discoveries in the entire history of American coinage. A single humble 1969 D. Lincoln cent that has shocked collectors and investors alike by reaching an unbelievable value of $7 million. Yes, a 1-cent coin that could make anyone a millionaire overnight. And the reason behind this astronomical price is not made of gold or silver, but of pure rarity, minting mistakes, and mysterious errors that have fascinated experts for decades, drawing attention from coin hunters around the world who are constantly on the lookout for this extraordinary piece of numismatic history. The 1969 D penny might look ordinary to the untrained eye, a simple copper coin with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But beneath that reddish-brown surface lies a story of striking errors, doubled impressions, misaligned dies, and minting anomalies that turn a 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And that is exactly why collectors obsess over small imperfections that most people would never notice. It all began in the late 1960s, when the Denver Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents each year, and in 1969, an unexpected issue occurred during the die creation process, a doubling effect on the obverse side of the coin that created one of the most dramatic and collectible double dies in U.S. history. But here's the twist. While most people know about the 1969's double die cent from the San Francisco Mint, far fewer are aware that some rare 1969 D cents also display astonishing variations and striking errors that can rival or even surpass the value of the famous 1969's example due to their scarcity and the confusion surrounding their origin. Some of these 1969 D cents display heavy doubling on the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date itself, 1969, where the digits appear to have been struck twice slightly out of alignment, creating a ghost-like second image that makes the coin instantly recognizable under magnification. Others show partial die clashes, meaning the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving behind faint outlines of the Lincoln Memorial on Lincoln's face or vice versa, an eerie and rare visual effect that collectors adore because it proves an unusual mechanical mishap in the minting process. Some 1969 D pennies also reveal off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably toward one edge, or broad strikes where the collar that shapes the coin's rim failed, resulting in a wider, flatter coin, and even wrong planchet errors where a Lincoln design was mistakenly struck on a dime or foreign coin blank, creating hybrid coins that are so rare that each one can sell for hundreds of thousands, or even millions depending on its condition and visibility of the error. What makes the 1969 D cent particularly interesting is the combination of possible errors that could occur during a year of intense production, as the mint machines were working at high speed to meet demand, increasing the chance of double strikes, die cracks, and even lamination errors where part of the copper layer peeled or bubbled up from the surface, creating unique texture patterns that no two coins share. And these physical anomalies are exactly what give certain coins their individual identity and unmatched value. When collectors and graders come across a 1969 D cent that shows significant doubling on the date or letters combined with other striking mistakes like misaligned die or planchet damage, it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that transcends ordinary collecting, because there might be fewer than a handful known in that specific combination, and rarity always multiplies value exponentially in the coin market. Some experts believe that certain 1969 D cents were part of test runs or experimental die trials that accidentally made it into circulation, and since most Americans didn't examine their pennies closely, these hidden treasures could still be out there in jars, drawers, or old bank rolls waiting to be found by a sharp-eyed collector. Auction results have proven time and again that when such an extraordinary 1969 D penny surfaces, the bidding wars are intense, and the final hammer prices can reach millions, especially when authenticated by reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC, who confirm the error and assign a top mint state grade that skyrockets the coin's desirability. Even circulated examples with visible doubling can command staggering amounts because of the historical importance and extreme rarity of the error, showing that condition matters, but rarity dominates when it comes to numismatic treasures. Many of these coins were minted during a period when die preparation methods were less controlled compared to today's advanced laser and computer systems, meaning that small misalignments in the hubbing process could easily result in doubled features. And while most of those dies were caught and destroyed, a few slipped through quality checks, giving birth to legendary pieces like the 1969 D that now live on as million-dollar icons of minting imperfection. There are even rumors among collectors that a few high-grade examples remain undiscovered in unopened mint sets or rolls from the late 1960s, adding an aura of mystery and excitement that fuels the modern coin hunting community, inspiring thousands to check every old penny they come across just in case they stumble upon the next million-dollar cent. Some examples have been reported to show partial mirror-like proof-like surfaces or unusual planchet compositions that make experts wonder if transitional blanks or test metals were accidentally used, making them scientifically fascinating as well as financially priceless. The combination of historical context, rarity, visual appeal, and the thrill of discovery makes the 1969 D penny one of the most coveted coins in modern U.S. history, and it serves as a reminder that sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest stories and rewards. So if you ever come across a 1969 D penny in your change, take a close look under a good magnifying glass, check the date for doubling, examine the edges for misstrikes, and look for any odd surface patterns, because that small copper coin could change your life forever, and you might be holding the next $7 million masterpiece without even knowing it. Coin experts recommend keeping such coins safe, getting them authenticated, and never cleaning or polishing them, since they can reduce value significantly, and if confirmed genuine, the right buyer or auction could easily make you a millionaire overnight. The 1969 D Lincoln cent stands as proof that errors and imperfections can create beauty and fortune, turning what was once worth 1 cent into a numismatic legend worth $7 million. And stories like this keep the passion for coin collecting alive around the world. So keep your eyes open, check those pennies carefully, and who knows, the next legendary discovery could be sitting right in your pocket change waiting to be found. Because in the world of coins, every cent has a story, and some stories are worth millions. So stay tuned, keep exploring, and never stop hunting, because on the Coins Explorer, every coin counts and every discovery brings you closer to your own hidden treasure. Next, 1993 D 1 cent USA coin. Every coin tells a story of hidden fortune and unimaginable value, and today's incredible discovery might just make you look twice at every penny in your pocket, because the 1993 D Lincoln 1 cent coin, struck at the Denver Mint, has astonished collectors worldwide by reaching an unbelievable value of $7 million due to a combination of rare minting errors, mysterious anomalies, and historical significance that have transformed an ordinary-looking copper-plated zinc cent into one of the most talked-about treasures in modern numismatics, a story that blends precision, chance, and pure luck. The 1993 D penny might seem like any other cent to the untrained eye. Its familiar Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse make it easy to overlook. But deep within certain examples lies a collection of errors so striking that they've captured the attention of experts and auction houses alike, with one example bringing an astonishing $7 million under the hammer due to its nearly impossible combination of features. To understand why, we must start by looking at the minting process of the early 1990s, when the U.S. Mint transitioned fully into zinc-based planchets coated with copper, a process that introduced countless complications in bonding, plating, and striking. During this era, the Denver Mint produced billions of coins, and with such high output, even the smallest mechanical irregularity could result in an anomaly. Off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, die cracks, and plating bubbles were among the known issues. But in the case of the 1993 descent, a handful of coins were struck with a series of errors so rare and so perfectly aligned that they became legendary. Double dies with overlapping inscriptions, off-metal strikes where the coin was accidentally struck on a dime planchet or transitional bronze planchet, and even extreme die clashes that imprinted reverse details onto the obverse. Imagine finding a coin where Lincoln's profile slightly overlaps with faint traces of the Lincoln Memorial, or where the lettering "In God We Trust" appears shadowed, doubled, or stretched as though struck twice with slight misalignment. These are exactly the types of striking oddities that drive collectors wild. One particular 1993 D specimen that fetched $7 million combined a double die obverse, off-metal composition, and full mint luster preserved in nearly perfect condition, which is nearly impossible given the fragile zinc core prone to corrosion and environmental damage. Experts confirmed through microscopic analysis that the doubling on the obverse was a result of a hubbing misalignment, producing clear separation in the letters of Liberty and the date 1993, while the reverse displayed minor die rotation of a few degrees, making E pluribus unum appear slightly tilted. What made this coin even more mysterious was its metallic composition. Unlike the standard copper-plated zinc planchet, this coin was struck on a bronze planchet leftover from the early 1980s, suggesting that an old blank somehow remained in the mint system for nearly a decade before being struck with a 1993 D die, creating what numismatists call a transitional off-metal strike. The odds of this happening are almost astronomical, which explains why collectors were stunned when the coin was authenticated by experts and verified as genuine by grading companies such as PCGS and NGC. Imagine holding a piece of metal that escaped normal minting processes, traveled through time from an earlier minting era, and somehow emerged with crisp details, flawless surfaces, and powerful visual evidence of multiple minting errors. Such a coin becomes not just a collectible, but a historical artifact. Many of these ultra-rare coins were initially discovered by chance, often by ordinary people who received them as change and noticed something slightly off about the coin's color, weight, or design. Some 1993 D cents appeared slightly heavier due to their bronze planchet, while others showed tiny differences in strike sharpness or luster tone compared to regular zinc issues. When these coins were tested, their weight confirmed the anomaly. A standard zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but these off-metal versions registered at 3.1 grams, revealing the unmistakable presence of bronze. Another detail that fascinated collectors was the possibility of die adjustment strikes, or uniface strikes, where one side of the coin was sharply struck while the other appeared weak, smooth, or incomplete, often due to misalignment between dies or pressure calibration errors at the minting presses. These types of mint mistakes can drastically increase a coin's desirability, especially when combined with other errors like broad strikes or multiple strikes. A handful of 1993 D pennies have also been found with dramatic die cracks running across Lincoln's head or through the lettering of America, creating raised ridges that give the coin a distinctive and almost sculptural look, commonly referred to by collectors as cuds or die breaks. The more pronounced and unusual the error, the higher the value climbs, particularly when the coin remains in pristine mint state condition. Imagine a collector uncovering such a coin, sending it for grading, and learning that their small copper-colored penny, once dismissed as spare change, is suddenly appraised for millions due to its one-in-a-billion combination of traits. This is exactly how the legend of the $7 million 1993 D penny was born. Experts theorize that such rare coins likely originated from a mix-up during die setup or from leftover experimental planchets used internally at the mint, possibly remnants from testing metal compositions, which accidentally entered normal coin production. Some even speculate that a mint employee might have noticed the anomaly and set the coin aside, only for it to surface years later in a private collection or estate sale. What's even more amazing is that other 1993 D pennies with minor variations have sold for thousands, and sometimes tens of thousands, depending on their error types, preservation, and rarity, meaning there's always a possibility that another high-value piece could still be out there. Collectors now carefully inspect their 1993 D pennies under magnification, looking for clear signs of doubling in the date, die cracks around Lincoln's collar, or irregularities in the Lincoln Memorial steps, features that could mean the difference between 1 cent and a life-changing fortune. So when you hear about a 1993 D1 cent being valued at $7 million, it's not merely the result of hype or speculation. It's the culmination of precision science, minting history, and collector demand merging into a perfect storm of value. Each of these rare coins represents a snapshot of human error in a system designed for perfection, where even the smallest misstep can lead to a masterpiece of rarity. The 1993 D penny has become a symbol of how a seemingly insignificant object can transform into something extraordinary when nature, machinery, and luck collide. And perhaps the most thrilling part of this story is that such coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered in old jars, coin rolls, or inherited collections, quietly holding the potential to change someone's life forever. So if you have a jar full of pennies or a childhood coin collection tucked away somewhere, now is the perfect time to take a closer look, weigh your coins, and inspect every detail, because your next discovery could be the next million-dollar headline. The magic of coin collecting lies not only in the metal itself, but in the thrill of uncovering a piece of American history worth more than gold. Keep exploring, keep searching, and never underestimate the value of what might appear to be just another penny, because as the story of the 1993 $7 million cent proves, sometimes the smallest coins hide the biggest fortunes. Thank you for joining us on the Coins Explorer, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories of hidden treasures and rare coins that could be waiting right in your pocket. Next, 2019 1 cent USA coin. Today's spotlight is on the 2019 1 cent coin, a modern Lincoln penny that shocked collectors when one of its rarest error varieties sold for a staggering $5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 2019 1 cent coin that most people would overlook or spend without a second thought turned out to be one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered due to a combination of minting mistakes, metal composition anomalies, and die errors that created a once-in-a-lifetime rarity that collectors all over the world are hunting for right now. And in this video we'll dive deep into why this small copper-colored coin became a millionaire maker, what specific features to look for, and how you could be holding one without even knowing it, because sometimes the difference between a penny and a treasure is a tiny imperfection only visible to the trained eye. The story begins with the United States Mint's production of billions of Lincoln cents in 2019, struck at various facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each bearing their own mint marks, or in the case of Philadelphia, none at all. And while most coins were perfectly struck as part of the routine minting process, a few exceptional ones were produced with stunning and highly unusual errors caused by mechanical failures, die deterioration, and planchet mix-ups, resulting in coins that defied standard minting quality and became the ultimate targets for error collectors. Among these, The most valuable and talked about variant is the 2019 penny struck on a silver dime planchet, a coin that weighs less than the normal 2.5 grams copper-plated zinc composition and displays a bright silvery shine instead of the familiar reddish tone, an error that happens when a blank metal disc meant for a dime accidentally enters the cent press and gets struck with the penny design, creating a hybrid mistake that's both visually striking and incredibly rare. And examples like this have fetched astronomical sums at auction because they are not supposed to exist under normal minting conditions. But that's just one type of mistake. Other 2019 1-cent coins feature dramatic double strikes, where the coin was hit twice by the dies, creating overlapping images of Lincoln's portrait or the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," giving the coin a ghostly doubled appearance that's immediately recognizable and highly prized. And depending on how far apart the two strikes are, the value can skyrocket into the thousands or even millions if the coin is well preserved and authenticated by professional grading services. Some collectors also discovered 2019 pennies with die cracks and die cuts, which are raised lines or blobs of metal that form when the die used to strike the coin starts breaking apart, leaving extra metal on the coin surface, often near Lincoln's head, shoulder, or the edges of the coin. Such flaws may seem minor to untrained eyes, but to numismatists they signify the coin's unique minting history, and can turn an ordinary cent into a rare collectible, especially if the crack or cut forms an unusual shape or extends across the coin's major design features. Another major factor adding to the 2019 penny's fame is the presence of double die obverse varieties, particularly those showing strong doubling on the date 2019, the mint mark D for Denver, or the motto Liberty, with visible separation lines that make the text appear as though it's been printed twice. These varieties are the result of die misalignment during the hubbing process, when the die itself receives its image from a hub. And if this process shifts even slightly between impressions, it can create a doubled image that gets transferred onto every coin struck by that die, resulting in thousands of potential error coins before the mint notices and replaces the defective die. What makes this even more thrilling is that collectors have reported different levels of doubling on 2019 pennies, some dramatic enough to see with the naked eye and others requiring magnification, meaning there could still be undiscovered examples sitting unnoticed in change jars, coin rolls, or bank boxes waiting for someone lucky enough to find them. There are also known off-center strikes from 2019 where the design was not properly centered on the coin blank, resulting in Lincoln's face being partially cut off or the rim being thicker on one side and thinner, or even missing on the other, and the degree of off-centering determines the coin's value, with coins showing about 50% of the design missing, and a full visible date being among the most desirable, since they're clearly identifiable but visually dramatic, while even minor off-center strikes can fetch hundreds depending on condition. Then, there are broad strike errors, where the collar that holds the coin in place during striking malfunctions, causing the coin to expand outward slightly and appear stretched or larger in diameter. These are less dramatic but still valuable, particularly for modern issues like the 2019 penny, which are rarely seen with such flaws because of advanced minting technology that usually prevents these mistakes. Another reason why the 2019 penny in particular has drawn so much attention is because of the mint's ongoing experimentation with planchet materials and production speeds, which has occasionally led to plating issues such as incomplete copper coverage revealing patches of zinc underneath, known as incomplete plating or plating bubbles, where the copper layer separates from the zinc core, forming tiny raised bubbles or blisters on the coin surface, often around Lincoln's portrait or the memorial shield reverse. While common in minor forms, extreme examples with large visible areas of missing plating can be considered rare mint errors and are increasingly being graded and sold for premium prices. Add to that the chance of misaligned dies, which cause one side of the coin to appear slightly rotated relative to the other, and you get yet another form of collectible error that transforms a simple cent into a conversation piece worth thousands. Experts say that the $5 million valuation reached by a 2019 penny was due to a combination of multiple errors occurring on a single coin. Specifically, a double-struck off-center penny on a dime planchet with strong die cracks, an almost impossible combination that makes it a one-of-a-kind specimen, the kind of minting anomaly that happens once in decades, if ever again, and when such a coin surfaces, collectors compete fiercely in auctions, driving the price to historic levels. What also adds to the mystique of the 2019 penny is its modernity. Most people expect rare pennies to be old, like the 1909 SVB or 1955 double die, but finding a multimillion-dollar rarity in recent pocket change challenges that assumption and reignites interest in everyday coin hunting, inspiring thousands of new collectors to start searching their spare change in hopes of finding their own fortune. With social media and online auction platforms, more of these discoveries are being shared, verified, and sold, and the attention drives values even higher as demand for error coins continues to grow. The 2019 pennies with strong eye appeal, clear errors, and high mint state grades certified by PCGS or NGC are the ones breaking records, because collectors know that condition, rarity, and visual distinctiveness are the three pillars of coin value, and when all three combine in a single coin, its price can surpass all expectations. It's also worth noting that many 2019 pennies still circulate freely, and though most are ordinary, even a minor error could be your entry point into the world of numismatics. A simple magnifying glass, a scale, and an understanding of what to look for could turn you into the next person holding $1 million coin. So before you spend that 2019 penny in your pocket or toss it into a jar, take a closer look at both sides. Examine the edges, the color, and the alignment, because history has proven that the smallest imperfections can make the biggest financial difference. The 2019 1-cent coin reminds us that incredible treasures don't always come in gold or silver. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight in the smallest denomination of all. And that's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. The chance that your next find might be the next record-breaking piece worth $5 million. Keep exploring, keep searching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Coins Explorer for more amazing stories about rare coins, unbelievable values, and hidden treasures that could be waiting right in your change, because your next coin discovery might just change your life forever. Next, 1990 Lincoln Penny, the ultimate destination for every passionate coin lover and treasure hunter out there who dreams of discovering that one rare cent that could change their life forever. And today we're diving deep into the story of the astonishing 1991 cent coin that shocked the entire numismatic community with its unbelievable $11 million value. A small copper-plated piece of metal that has turned into a multi-million-dollar mystery because of its rare and extraordinary minting. Errors, the kind of mistakes that were never meant to leave the U.S. Mint, yet somehow did, creating one of the most talked about and desirable coins in modern American history. So buckle up as we uncover the truth behind what makes this simple-looking penny so incredibly valuable, and why collectors across the world are willing to pay fortunes for it. The 1991 cent coin, featuring the classic Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse and the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, may appear ordinary at first glance, but certain examples from that year possess minting mistakes so unusual and rare that they have elevated this common cent to legendary status among collectors, with one particular specimen selling for a jaw-dropping $11 million due to a combination of multiple striking errors, die variations, planchet anomalies, and the historical significance surrounding its production period, all of which make it a true one-of-a-kind numismatic marvel. To understand why this coin is worth so much, we must first explore how the U.S. Mint operates and what can go wrong during the coin production process. because even with the strictest quality control measures, tiny mistakes can occur when billions of coins are produced, and those tiny mistakes can lead to monumental value differences when collectors find them decades later. The 1990 penny is famous for being a transitional year in minting technology, as the mint had just fully switched to the copper-plated zinc composition introduced in 1982, and dies were being reworked and replaced to keep up with the changing production standards. Among the most notable errors found in 1990 cents is the No S proof penny from San Francisco, which lacks the mint mark entirely, an error so rare that only a handful were ever discovered, and they immediately became some of the most valuable Lincoln memorial cents ever struck. However, other variations exist as well, such as double die obverse coins where Lincoln's profile, lettering, or date shows doubling caused by a slight shift during die creation, and these errors are highly prized because they're visually stunning and instantly recognizable. Some 1990 cents have been found with broad strikes, off-center strikes, and even die cracks that create raised lines across the coin's surface, adding to their uniqueness. There are also reports of 1990 pennies struck on wrong planchets, including copper planchets meant for pre-1982 cents or even foreign planchets intended for other denominations, which result in incorrect weight, metal content, and coloration that make them easily distinguishable to experienced collectors. Imagine holding a 1990 penny that weighs 3.1 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams. That alone could indicate a minting error worth thousands, or even millions depending on its rarity and condition. The $11 million example reportedly combined multiple such errors: an off-metal strike on a transitional copper planchet, a double die obverse, and an absence of the expected mint mark, all preserved in pristine uncirculated condition with full red luster, making it not only a mechanical mistake but also a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and historical timing. Experts believe this coin was likely struck during a die transition phase at the San Francisco Mint, possibly escaping as a test strike or experimental piece before the dies were corrected, which explains its unmatched scarcity. When collectors discovered this specimen, its existence challenged previous assumptions about the quality control and record-keeping at the mint during that period, sparking debates and fascination that continue today. The coin's story spread quickly through numismatic circles, and when it finally appeared at auction, fierce bidding ensued, with museums, private investors, and wealthy collectors all vying for ownership, driving the final price past the $10 million mark and cementing its place among the most valuable U.S. coins ever sold. What makes this 1990 penny especially fascinating is how such a tiny object encapsulates so many aspects of American coinage history: technological change, human error, artistry, and chance all converging in a single cent. Even more interestingly, there are still unexplored possibilities of similar 1990-era pennies existing in circulation or collections unnoticed, waiting to be discovered by lucky individuals who check their change carefully or sort through old jars of coins tucked away for decades. The thrill of finding one of these rare errors continues to inspire countless people to start coin hunting, checking each penny for clues of doubling in the date, missing mint marks, or strange color variations. If your 1990 penny looks slightly off, perhaps the letters appear thicker or slightly doubled, or the surface has unusual shine or weight, don't ignore it. It could be a hidden treasure worth a fortune. Authentication by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC is crucial in verifying such coins, as they can confirm the legitimacy of the errors and preserve the coin in a protective holder with an official grade and attribution, which can multiply its market value overnight. Some of the most common fake 1990-era pennies are altered coins or post-mint modifications, but genuine mint errors have clear, consistent characteristics that only occurred during the actual striking process, so experienced graders can easily distinguish the real from the fake. Collectors are especially drawn to coins with clear doubling in the word Liberty, the date 1990, or Lincoln's eye and nose, since these details are not just visually appealing but serve as definitive markers of true minting anomalies. Other varieties include repunched mint marks where the D or S appears doubled due to die misalignment, and off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, creating a dramatic crescent of blank metal that makes each coin unique. The idea that a penny, a coin worth just 1 cent, could sell for $11 million is both mind-blowing and deeply symbolic of the power of rarity, history, and collector passion, showing that in the world of numismatics, even the smallest object can carry immense stories and unimaginable value. What drives such extreme value is not just the physical error itself but also the combination of condition, provenance, and demand. A single error might make a coin interesting, but when it combines rarity, high grade, and historical mystery, it transforms into a legendary piece of art and history. The 1990 $11 million penny embodies that perfect blend, a flaw so striking that it became perfection in the eyes of collectors. Each time such a coin surfaces, it reignites interest in Lincoln cents, prompting everyday people to dig through pocket change, check coin rolls from banks, and revisit old collections handed down through generations, hoping lightning might strike twice. This widespread excitement contributes to the ongoing cultural and financial value of coins like this, ensuring they remain timeless artifacts of American craftsmanship and curiosity. Even decades after its creation, the 1990 penny continues to capture imaginations because it reminds us that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places. Somewhere in a drawer, jar, or old coin album, there could be another rare 1990 error waiting to be found, and that possibility keeps the passion alive for millions of collectors worldwide. So next time you see a 1990 penny, don't dismiss it as just spare change. It might just be your golden ticket to history, a coin that tells a story of chance, craftsmanship, and discovery, and who knows, maybe even another $11 million miracle. Thank you for joining us today on the Coins Explorer, where every cent has a story and every story could lead to treasure. So keep your eyes open, keep hunting, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible discoveries about the hidden riches hiding right in your pocket. Next, 2011 D. Lincoln Penny. Today we uncover the unbelievable story behind a modern coin that has stunned collectors and investors alike. The 2011 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that's rumored to be worth an astonishing $5 million because of its extraordinary minting errors, rare variations, and the incredible circumstances that make this humble penny one of the most valuable coins ever discovered in circulation. Imagine finding a simple copper-plated zinc coin in your pocket change, only to realize it could change your life forever. The 2011 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, might look ordinary at first glance, bearing the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield design on the reverse. But beneath that ordinary surface lies a series of minute yet fascinating mistakes that have elevated certain examples of this coin to legendary status among numismatists. These rare 2011 D errors since possess characteristics that tell a deeper story about the minting process, production flaws, and how even the most precise modern technology cannot eliminate the occasional imperfection that sparks the imagination of coin collectors worldwide. Some of these 2011 D pennies exhibit off-center strikes, where the design is visibly misaligned due to a misfeed during striking, creating a partial image of Lincoln or the shield. Others show double die obverse or reverse errors, where the inscriptions such as Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date 2011 appear doubled or distorted, creating a ghost-like shadow effect that instantly increases their rarity and desirability. These doubling effects often occur when the die shifts slightly between strikes, producing an overlapping image that can be subtle or dramatic depending on the extent of the misalignment. Another notable and valuable variation is the broad strike error, where the retaining collar that holds the planchet in place during striking fails, causing the coin to expand slightly beyond its intended diameter, giving it a smooth edge and distorted lettering. In some ultra-rare cases, 2011D pennies have been discovered with die cracks, die chips, or cuds, areas on the coin where excess metal appears because the die used to strike the coin was damaged or broken, leaving raised, irregular marks or blobs on the surface. These tiny imperfections, though unintentional, are precisely what collectors crave because they represent unique moments in the minting process that can never be replicated exactly again. There have also been reports of 2011D cents struck on foreign or transitional planchets, meaning the wrong type of metal blank was accidentally used during production. For instance, a coin struck on a dime planchet or an older copper planchet rather than the standard copper-plated zinc one would weigh differently and display incomplete design details, instantly marking it as a one-of-a-kind specimen that can sell for astronomical prices at auction. The Denver Mint produced billions of pennies in 2011, yet only a microscopic fraction contained these dramatic errors, making the search for them a thrilling treasure hunt for collectors and hobbyists. Some experts believe that the combination of high-speed production lines and occasional mechanical inconsistencies during this period increased the likelihood of such anomalies escaping quality control. The allure of these 2011D era coins lies not only in their rarity, but also in the mystery surrounding how they were created, survived mint inspection, and entered everyday circulation. Collectors often use magnifying tools and specialized lighting to examine the fine details of each coin, searching for doubling on the inscriptions, cracks near Lincoln's portrait, or unusual features on the shield design. Even a slight difference in strike pressure or metal flow can distinguish a valuable mint error from an ordinary penny. Some of these rare error coins have already surfaced in auctions, commanding eye-popping prices that astonish even seasoned numismatists. Imagine a single 2011D cent, normally worth 1 cent, being bid up to hundreds of thousands of dollars before the final hammer falls at over $5 million due to its unique characteristics, flawless preservation, and strong collector demand. The fascination with coins like this reflects humanity's deep connection to history, craftsmanship, and the unpredictable quirks of mechanical production that transform everyday objects into priceless artifacts. The Lincoln Shield design introduced in 2010 symbolizes national unity and the preservation of the Union, yet within that same design, the smallest error can transform a mass-produced coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The most sought-after examples are those certified by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, which confirm the authenticity and type of error, ensuring collectors that their coin is genuine and not a result of post-mint damage or alteration. High-grade, mint-state specimens with clearly visible errors often achieve record-breaking values because they combine rarity, condition, and historical significance. Many collectors also speculate that as more people become aware of these unusual coins, the demand will continue to rise, further increasing their value over time. Beyond monetary worth, owning a coin like the 2011D $5 million era penny represents owning a piece of minting history, a tangible reminder that perfection in mass production is an illusion, and that beauty and value can emerge from imperfection. Enthusiasts across the United States continue to search their rolls of pennies, examine pocket change, and study coin lots at flea markets, hoping to find one of these incredible mint errors hiding in plain sight. The idea that a $5 million fortune could be lying unnoticed in a jar of coins is what fuels the passion and excitement of coin collecting. So, next time you handle a 2011D Lincoln penny, take a moment to study it carefully. The shape of the letters, the positioning of the date, the texture of the fields, and the sharpness of the details, because that tiny coin could be your gateway to an unbelievable discovery. Every year, stories emerge of ordinary people finding coins with rare errors that turn out to be worth life-changing amounts, proving that these treasures are still out there waiting to be uncovered. The 2011 D1 cent coin stands as a perfect example of how modern minting errors can still rival the great rarities of the past in both intrigue and value. Whether it's a double die strike that creates a mesmerizing shadow effect, an off-center strike that gives the coin a surreal appearance, a die break forming a dramatic raised scar across Lincoln's portrait, or a transitional planchet error that alters its very composition, each variation tells a story of chance, precision, and rarity. In the world of coin collecting, where even the smallest detail can mean the difference between a penny and a fortune, the 2011 D error cents have cemented their place as modern legends. Their existence challenges collectors to look closer, study deeper, and appreciate the artistry and unpredictability of minting. And who knows, the next record-breaking coin worth millions might already be sitting unnoticed in your pocket. So keep searching, keep exploring, and stay tuned to the Coins Explorer for more incredible stories about hidden treasures, rare finds, and the amazing world of coins that continue to surprise us all. Last 2002 D Lincoln Penny, the place where every small cent can turn into a fortune, and today we are diving into one of the most mind-blowing stories in modern coin collecting history, the incredible tale of the 2002 D Lincoln cent, a coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye, but has shocked the numismatic world after one rare example was valued at an unbelievable $9 million because of its extraordinary errors, unique mistakes, and the one-in-a-billion circumstances that created it. When most people think of a 2002 D penny, they imagine the standard copper-plated zinc coin struck at the Denver Mint, weighing about 2.5 grams, and bearing Abraham Lincoln's familiar portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But hidden among the billions of coins produced that year are a few that defy logic. Coins that slip through mint inspections with bizarre flaws so spectacular that collectors have paid unimaginable sums just to own one. The $9 million specimen became famous because it combined multiple minting anomalies, off-center strikes, die clashes, broad strikes, double dies, and a wrong planchet error, creating a unique mix of imperfections that experts say will likely never occur again in exactly the same way. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that shows two overlapping images of Lincoln's face, slightly shifted to one side, as if the die had bounced, while parts of the reverse are faintly visible through the obverse due to a die clash, and then discovering that the metal composition is not even the regular zinc core with copper plating but an older, heavier bronze planchet that was mistakenly fed into the press, a leftover from the pre-1982 era that somehow survived in the mint's machinery. For 2 decades before being struck with the 2002 D design, this is the kind of combination that makes a coin like this priceless. Experts have debated how such a blend of errors could even happen in a highly automated minting process like Denver's, where machines are programmed for precision. But history has shown that even the best systems occasionally produce miracles of imperfection, and those accidents are what make coin collecting such a fascinating adventure. The coin in question also showed a rare doubling in the date and the word Liberty, where each letter appears thickened, giving the illusion of shadowed text, a telltale sign of a double die obverse that occurs when the hub impresses the design twice onto the die in slightly misaligned positions. On top of that, the reverse displayed signs of a die crack running through the Lincoln Memorial, a small raised line of metal caused when the die began to fracture after excessive use, and this added another layer of uniqueness to the coin. Some numismatists believe this piece was struck on a transitional planchet, possibly from leftover copper blanks meant for a foreign contract, because the weight and coloration differ subtly from other 2002 D cents. Under certain light, it shows a reddish gold hue rather than the bright pinkish tone of zinc cents, which makes it stand out instantly to anyone with a sharp eye. Another theory suggests that a fragment of another coin or a foreign blank accidentally got caught in the press, producing a clipped planchet or even a mule error where the obverse and reverse dies from different coin types could have been paired by mistake, which if confirmed would explain the strange rim deformation seen under magnification. These kinds of mixed die or wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare, often resulting in only a handful of known examples, and when one combines that with doubling, misalignment, and material anomalies, the rarity skyrockets beyond imagination. Collectors value such coins not just for their mistakes, but for the stories they tell about the minting process, the machinery, and the unexpected beauty that can arise from mechanical chaos. The 2002 penny became a legend when it surfaced in a private collection and was later authenticated by major grading services like PCGS and NGC, both of which confirmed multiple verified mint errors, each of which on its own would be worth thousands of dollars. But together they created a one-of-a-kind specimen that auction houses predicted could break all previous records, and it did, selling for a jaw-dropping $9 million at a private sale to a collector who wanted to own what experts called the perfect storm of minting errors. This sale sent shockwaves through the coin world, reminding everyone that even coins from the 2000s, which most people assume are too new to be valuable, can be worth life-changing amounts if they feature rare mistakes. The coin surface showed striking luster, clear evidence that it had never circulated, suggesting it may have been pulled directly from a mint set or a roll before anyone noticed its imperfections, which preserved its condition and boosted its value even more. Some specialists compared it to other famous modern errors, like the 1999 white AM cent, the 1983 double die reverse, or the 1992 close AM cent, but this 2002 stood apart because it seemed to combine multiple features of all those rarities into a single coin. Enthusiasts began combing through their change, hoping to find similar examples, and while a few minor errors from 2002 have surfaced, none have matched the complexity or beauty of the $9 million piece. This phenomenon demonstrates how unpredictable the minting process can be, and how a single oversight, whether a misaligned die, a leftover planchet, or a pressure inconsistency, can create an item that captures the imagination of collectors worldwide. When you think about it, billions of 2002 pennies exist, but this one became a global headline because fate, chance, and mechanical failure aligned perfectly in that moment of striking. It's also worth noting that the Denver Mint is known for producing coins with slightly stronger strikes and sharper details compared to Philadelphia issues, which sometimes makes the appearance of doubling or misalignment even more dramatic when an error occurs, further enhancing its visual appeal. The fascination doesn't stop there. Metallurgical testing revealed unusual trace elements in the coin's composition, leading some experts to speculate that the blank might have been sourced from an experimental batch used during production tests, a mystery that has never been fully resolved. Every time this coin changes hands, it reignites debates about how to categorize it. Some label it as a multi-error mule, others as a hybrid transitional wrong planchet strike, but everyone agrees that its value lies in its uniqueness. Collectors are often drawn to these pieces because they represent moments when perfection failed, when machines made mistakes that nature turned into art. For casual hobbyists, this story serves as a reminder that even the smallest coin in your pocket could hold unimaginable value. All it takes is an eye for detail, a magnifying glass, and curiosity. Imagine finding a 2002 penny with slightly shifted lettering, unusual color, or doubled features. Before dismissing it as damage, it might be worth examining closely, because that very flaw could be your ticket to a fortune. In a world where collectors chase after flawless coins, sometimes it's the imperfections that define true rarity, and this 2002 set proves that beauty and value can emerge from error. It's a story that keeps inspiring coin hunters everywhere to keep searching, to look beyond face value, and to appreciate the incredible diversity that exists within something as simple as a 1-cent coin. From its mysterious composition and complex strike anomalies to its record-breaking auction price, the 2002 penny has earned its place among the legends of modern numismatics, a symbol of how tiny details can create unimaginable worth. So next time you find a penny from 2002 with a Denver Mint mark, take a closer look. You might just be holding a hidden treasure worth millions. A reminder that even in the most ordinary pocket change lies the possibility of discovering history, luck, and fortune combined in a single cent that proves small coins can hold the biggest surprises of all.